Hi, I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies, and this is Marla, my poodle. We're going today to look at the Iconx stabilizer from Dead Center Archery. It's new for 2019, and we're going to compare it to last year's model, which Dead Center still make, which is about $10 cheaper, and compare the difference in these stabilizers. Now with the Iconx, it only comes in black. That's the first thing. This one is a 30-inch long stabilizer. The packaging looks good. Barcode on the back if you're a shop. So if you know anything about Dead Center stabilizers, you know they've always used a wrap finish. The Iconx is different. You can see it's a full-on carbon finish, so there's no wrap here. Now with the previous Dead Center stabilizer, which is still in made, the Dead Center logo was down here and it looked like a huge flag. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So this is the old model Dead Center stabilizer, and you can see the logos at the end here. And at the time when I reviewed this stabilizer, I said I didn't like this finish here. I wasn't real wrapped about the wrap finish, so I'm really excited about this stabilizer. Okay, so let's look at some of the differences in this stabilizer and what makes this stabilizer unique. Now the first thing, at the weight end, they've got no thread there. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know if I'm going to be in trouble for it, but heck, you need a thread there, and maybe they should have added 1 or 2 weights to it. But the end here becomes wider, you'll see, which is actually a good thing, because the wider it is, the more it absorbs and it doesn't come loose. So I really like that finish. Now down the other end here, you'll notice a little grub screw that's going to push into this here. So with most stabilizers, with this thread here, it's just glued into this aluminium base. They've obviously glued it, plus they've got an Allen key there to hold it in place. Now what they've done with this end here, you can see they've flanged it out to make it wider. What we found in our testing stabilizers, if you make this wider here, it creates more contact with the bow and absorbs more shock. So I think that's a good thing to have. It's a nice hexagonal finish here, so if you want to hit a spanner on it to keep it nice and tight, you can. That's a good finish. Now the first thing I noticed with this stabilizer is what Dead Center have done is put fairy dust inside it, because this thing is extremely light. Like there is just no weight. There is no weight to this thing. This is 30 inches long and it weighs nothing. It's like a helium balloon. It's the lightest stabilizer I could even imagine. It's crazy light. The Iconx label down here is nice. That's a paint finish, not a sticker. It's a very nice looking stabilizer. Now the other thing you're going to ask is, well, how stiff is this stabilizer? And I pushed this stabilizer up at the shop, up against the bench, and it wouldn't move. It's really, really stiff. Now this is $10 more expensive than the other stabilizer that Dead Center has. And I think, without testing it, to me this looks like a far better stabilizer, the Icon. But we'll have to test it and see what it's like. Now there's a whole bunch of thin stabilizers. You can notice this is thin on the market. Now the concept of a thin stabilizer is that if there's wind out, the stabilizer will catch less wind. So the whole trend at the moment is to go for a stiff, skinny stabilizer. Now the other people who make skinny stabilizers beside Dead Center, Bee Stinger make one which is more expensive than this. I just did a review on the Fivix stabilizer, which I found really nice. Easton have got one which I tried at the Vegas shoot, which was actually pretty good. The Holocron, that felt pretty good. I didn't try it with a whole heap of weight, but that felt pretty good. I'm not sure what the price point is, but this to me looks like a really nice stabilizer. I'm going to miss some there, but I think they're the main skinny, long target stabilizers. Now let's just compare it to last year's model. This is last year's model. You can see the graphics. You can see the end here tapers down. They've got a little grub screw there to hold that thread in place. Like, it was a nice stabilizer. I've used this stabilizer now for over a year. Found it very good, and I've had no problems with them at all. You can see the rubber here is starting to crack. Now this has been used for about a year. Now I set it on the atomic stabilizer wasn't real wrapped about the rubber because it does perish. You can buy replacement rubbers from Dead Center. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look at some of the accessories that come for the Dead Center stabilizers, and we're going to test them when we test this stabilizer on how they compare. Now first off is what we're going to look at is this stainless steel weight stud kit. You'll see it's got a whole bunch of little screws in there for putting in the end of the stabilizer for adding weights. It comes with 3 stainless steel threads. I don't know the price on this because this just came in. They have these little rubber things in a whole bunch of different colors that slide up the stabilizer to absorb shock. And they have this one at the end, which is called a Dead Center end protector. These come in various colors, and we're going to try this as well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to fit this stabilizer to a bow with a whole heap of weight. Now I'm going to fit around 30 ounces of weight to it and see how this stabilizer performs, and let's have a go. Okay, so I've just fitted the Dead Center stabilizer. I've fitted 12 ounces of a weight. Now when you buy Dead Center weights, it comes with a screw, so maybe that explains why the Iconx does not have a thread at the end, because when you buy the weights it comes with the thread. Now the first thing you're going to notice when you fit this stabilizer is there's a gap between where it connects to the bow and the actual connection. Now the reason on the Supra, I'm guessing, for that is because it has this carbon bar which goes inside here, so I'm guessing the thread's too long, so I'm going to try and adjust that. Like all my reviews, nothing's as simple as just working first go. Now we're going to look at this stabilizer here. Now you can see it's got the thread and there's a gap there. So I'm going to try getting an Allen key and see how this thread adjusts. Okay, so I'm going to say the first thing, when you're in an archery shop and it's Saturday morning and someone comes to buy one of these stabilizers, the last thing in the world you want to be doing is changing one of these. Now it's not hard, and I haven't done it yet, so famous last words. So I'm going to try and loosen this off here, the screw on the side. I'm just loosened off. Now in the end here, there's a thread. So I'm going to get a stabilizer, I'm going to get an Allen key, and we're going to try and screw this in. It actually screws very, very easily. So I was expecting there to be glue there, and there was no glue whatsoever. So I've screwed that in a bit. Now I'm actually going to screw it out the other way. Oh, you can see how far out that comes. Oh look, they've got a gap in the thread. Like that. I'm not sure why they've done that. I'm sure someone from Dead Center will know why they've got that gap in the thread. It makes no sense to me at all. Maybe it's for the washer. That's as far as I can get that thread in. Now I'm going to just re-lock that. And I'm hoping that's going to be enough space to create the lock I need for the stabilizer, because I want this pressed up against the stabilizer. If it isn't, then I've got a problem. Now I have seen stabilizers in the past where it doesn't lock up, and then you have to put washers in there to make that occur. It's not a great... Don't you hate that when you move an Allen key and it goes crack right the way around like that? I feel like I'm stripping the head out. Maybe I am. That's what happens when you film live. Now quick disconnects are a fantastic thing. Stops you stripping out the thread of your stabilizer. Now if you've got one of these bushings in your bow, quick disconnect, like, it makes it quicker. If you don't have one of those, then it's if you don't have one of these bushings in your bow, then a quick disconnect is almost necessary, otherwise you will strip it out. You can see it fits nice and tight. Now I fitted 12 ounces, which is almost, I'm shooting at the moment 14 ounces on my stabilizer. So this is going to give us a feel for what this stabilizer feels like in comparison to what I'm shooting now. And at the moment I'm shooting a Shrewd Onyx, which is a slightly thicker stabilizer. So let's have a shot and let's see how it feels. So if you haven't seen any of my videos, this is a Super Focus, set on 60 pounds, 28.5 inch draw length. This is the bow I generally shoot most of the time, so it gives me a good feel for how this stabilizer compares to the others I test. That was impressive. So the first thing is the sight didn't move. I didn't feel the vibration in the sight. The shot afterwards was pretty dead. After the shot I could feel a little bit of vibration at the end of the stabilizer through the weights, but really it was dead in my hand, and it's really as good as anything I've shot. So I can still see, after the shot, I can see the vibration at the end of the stabilizer with the weights. But it's very, very good. And now with the stabilizer, the more weight you put down the end, the more vibration that's going to come back to the bow, because the vibration goes down to the end, and you've got lots of heavy weight, it then bounces back to the bow, and that's where you feel the vibration at the end. So I feel like now what I want to do is I want to stack on a whole heap of weight down that front end and feel what this stabilizer feels like, because with 12 ounces it feels good. Now, one of the common questions you're going to get is, how much weight do I need down the end? Now, you don't need any weight. When I say you don't need any, if you can't hold up weight, you don't need any, and you can shoot perfectly fine with it. The concept of putting lots of weight down the end of the stabilizer is that the more weight you have down there, the harder it is for you to move that around, so when you aim you're going to be steadier. So a lot of the top shooters these days are shooting 22 ounces, 24 ounces down the front here. Now you're going to say, well, John Dudley shoots like 3 ounces. Well, I haven't seen John shoot in a comp. But I'm saying, like, at the world scene, literally everyone's shooting a whole heap of weight down the front end. So, and you can absolutely get away with shooting very few weights down there. Absolutely, no question. I've seen kids, ladies shoot, men shoot very little weight down the front and shoot big scores. But I'm just saying, overall, when you're talking top shooters, there's a couple of points difference between them. So what they try and do is add a whole heap of weight down there to try and make it a little bit steadier. Now, the problem with putting a whole heap of weight down there is this, holding that weight up, especially if it's way down in front of you, it puts lots of pressure on your lower back, because instead of holding the weight up close to your body, it's down the end here. And what I used to have is pains in my lower back. In fact, it was so bad I could barely walk. Now I don't have those pains now, but that basically got me to reduce how much weight I had down the end, and now I'm trying to build it up, change the diet. So let's add a whole heap of weight and let's see how this thing feels. Okay, so I'm about to fit 30 ounces to the front of this. Now, to fit these, there's actually 3 6-ounce stacks in here. I've got one thread which comes with each individual weight, and I've had to go to the stud set and get another small one to fit in there to add it to the existing stabilizer. So we're going to add 30 ounces to the front of the Iconx and see how that feels with vibration coming back. So that's what that looks like. Looks actually pretty good. I like the look of it. The stabilizer looks cool. So I'm very happy with the overall look. 30 ounces. I figure there's no one shooting over 30 ounces, so the amount of shock you feel with this is the worst it's going to be. And then we're going to try some of the dead center products. Oh man, you can feel the weight on this stabilizer right now. Then we're going to try some dead center products and see if it gets rid of that vibration. Oh wow, nothing. There was no vibration back. There was nothing. So now when I shot the Accessory stabilizer last week with 30 ounces on it, the vibration came back. You could see it in the side. The sight went poof. Now to get rid of the Accessory, the vibration, the Accessory stabilizer, I fitted a dampener down the end with a weight, and that cleared it up. That was absolutely fantastic. And right now I'm thinking I need to order a whole bunch more of these stabilizers, because that is That is super. Oh, there's nothing. That's... Now I've shot a whole bunch of stabilizers. I've shot the Iconx, obviously. Shot the Bee Stinger target stabilizer. I've shot the Easterns. There's probably some I haven't shot. I've shot the atomic stabilizers. Look, I think this is as good as anything I've shot. It really is. I think Bee Stinger, I think Dead Center have done a really good thing. I think it looks clean now with the Dead Center logo there. The Dead Center logo looks good. It's in the right position. The finish on the stabilizer looks good. I think they've done it. I think they've produced a product now right up there where you can just say, look, this is a top quality product. Now, I didn't see much Dead Center when I was in Vegas at the Vegas shoot. Look, I saw some, but this stabilizer you should see now everywhere because it's that good. It is really that good. And always take a shot with something to see what you think of it. I thought the last Dead Center stabilizer I shot, the one behind me, was good, but I didn't like the finish of it. This, they've cleaned up the finish, they've fixed up the bits that I didn't like, and they've made a really, really good product. Now they've got some accessories, so now let's try those on. Let's see how it feels with those. The first thing we want to try is this. This is the Dead Center stabilizer end protector green. Now Bee Stinger's got protectors at the end. Now I'm not a big fan because what happens is they're stuck on, they screw into the end of their weights. They're stuck on with 3M tape. And what happens when people are putting the stabilizers down, they basically put on the rubber and the rubber pulls away from the 3M tape. And over time it peels off. And then people say, well, that should be covered by warranty. Sorry, a product that costs $20, you gotta send them a new one. In the post, it's $9 postage. Bee Stinger don't give you a new one, and you're out of pocket a product plus postage, and it's not worth selling. So I don't actually sell them anymore. If people want to buy them, they can buy them elsewhere. Just because I had so many problems, and people are going to say you're bagging another product. Look, I just couldn't afford to stock them. The postage, like I said, of $9 to send out, just couldn't do it. So I'm interested with this. Now let's just show the difference between this product and the Bee Stinger. So it's a bit of plastic at the end, so that's good. It's not tape. It's got the rubber around the edge, so that's not going to break. So it's basically a bit of plastic with a thread on with some rubber. So, and then they've got this here, it's a thread product. Now I'm going to guess this thread's going to be too long. So I almost need, with this product, I'm going to guess that thread's too long. So I'm trying to put that in. I feel like I'm, there you go. I was going to say, I feel like I'm stripping it, putting it in. So I'm trying to screw that in as far as I can, and that's it, almost. So you can see how much thread I've got left. That's pretty much it. Now these come in a whole bunch of different colors. Now I've got a blue bow with red. I probably should grab the red one, but I just want to see how this worked. You can see how long the thread is. Now this is not going to work for me, which is why I said I would have preferred this to have a shorter thread with it. You can see now, see the gap distance. Now you can buy, this is 1/4 inch continuous thread. You can buy these like on eBay. They're going to cost you like $5. I don't know how much the Dead Center set costs, but I've already used the short one in the Dead Center kit. The Dead Center kit comes with a short, medium, and then a long. So maybe I could adjust all these to make this fit. At the moment, I'm like just doing a video, so I just find that a bit disappointing. I definitely prefer a small one in there. And they've given me a large one, so the large one requires me to have that huge adjustment at the end of the stabilizer. So let's see how this feels. I'm going to try and get into the photo there. I couldn't feel, so without the end adapter, I could feel a little bit of vibration on the end. I couldn't feel anything with it. So this time I'm going to look at the end to see if I can see any vibration in the end. Now let's just pull numbers out the air because that's what I'm good at. I'm going to guess the little rubber thing down the end is $20. Might be $25. Yeah, looking down the end, I can't see the vibration I used to see without it. So to me, that's an improvement. So it's worth spending the extra to get that weight adapter on the end protector on the end, because it's definitely taking that vibration out the end. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take that off and I'm going to fit these. These are like little bands to the stabilizer. Now, Beast Stinger have got something similar. It's a rubber disc from Limsaver which slides up the end of the stabilizer. Now, to be honest, I really haven't found a lot of difference between the rubber things and without with Beast Stinger. I mean, you know, the thing is, let's say they're $20 and you think, well, for $20 the stabilizer's $260 or $360 or whatever it is. Like for $20 I might as well fit one. So let's see the impact of these on the stabilizer to see if these are worth fitting. These might be 20 bucks. Now with these rubber discs, I've got no idea where I should put them, whether I put them at the end or whether down here. I'm going to guess the vibrations at the end, so I'm just going to stick them down this side because I figure the vibration's coming down and these things should be up towards the end. So maybe I'll even put one up there, and I don't know. Now these come in multiple colors as well. I've gone for blue because I've got a blue bow. Look, I don't know, let's have a go and see what they feel like. Okay, now what I'm going to say about dead center stabilizers, those little rubber things, these little things here, they fit them to their hunting stabilizers. So I don't know if that makes the impact, but when I give dead center stabilizers to people in my store to try out, compared to the other ones, most people will pay the extra and get the dead center. They find it better, they find the vibration better, it takes more vibration out of the bow. So I think dead center have got a solid product as far as the hunting product, and I think this stabilizer now brings them to the solid product. When I say solid, I mean a good product at the top end of town. This is what they have with this stabilizer. And the accessories are very, very good, and they're at the right price point in the market. So I'm just going to try and move there so you can see the vibration. So I'm going to say the end rubber, the end tip rubber, where you screw it to the end of the stabilizer, has a greater impact than these. Now I really couldn't feel much different with or without these. So I'm going to put these together and let's just try that. I really can't feel much difference with the rubber versus without. So would I fit rubber? Now the general rule of rubber is on bows, the more rubber you have, the more vibration it takes. Given it's $20, I may fit them. The one I feel at the end has the greatest impact. So overall, dead center Iconx stabilizer to me is a really good stabilizer, and that's taken away the majority of the vibration to start with. To me, the finish is fantastic, the vibration is great, it's a stiff stabilizer, the price point is spot on in the market. There is no thinner stabilizer which I think which is cheaper than this, which is this quality. So to me, dead center with the Iconx, which is just new for this year, it's on the money. And right now, if you're a shop, you should be buying this product for your shop so people can try it. So right now I've got to order more of these stabilizers because they're really good, and I'll be shooting one of these for sure. Thanks for watching. I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. The more you shoot, the better you shoot. I'm just going to answer a question before you finish. Am I sponsored by Dead Center? No, and I'm not sponsored by PSE. And what that means is no one gives me anything. I'm not given this product, I'm not given this bow, I'm not given this sight. These are things I choose to shoot. I just do a review and I go, oh, I like that, I'll shoot that. So yeah, I don't get given anything. So I had to buy this stabilizer, I had to buy these weights to test for you so you can have a go. So anyway, thanks for watching, and the more you shoot, the better you shoot. Thanks for watching. Bye.